Yes, well, substantial aid is being stockpiled at the border with Venezuela in Colombia. Now, the purpose of that, really, there are two purposes. One is to try and help the humanitarian crisis here, but also there's a political message behind all that aid. It is being mounted by the US government, it's being asked for by the rival president here, Juan Guaido. And the point, really, of that message is it is to the Venezuelan security forces that are at the border. And the message to them is let this aid in and in the process abandon President Maduro. Now, you can imagine that President Maduro is not taking that lightly. He had a press conference just a few hours ago here in Caracas at the presidential palace, and this is what he had to say.
Our national sovereignty is made vulnerable with a show called humanitarian aid, and peace is threatened by the government of Mr. Donald Trump, who last Sunday in a televised interview reiterated his threat of a military invasion against Venezuela.
President Maduro speaking just a few hours ago here in Caracas. Now, that press conference didn't go entirely to plan. During it, there were two power cuts, a reflection perhaps of the crisis this country is feeling. Now, another reflection of that is that there are signs of the economic pressure President Maduro and his senior advisors are under. Last week, the US government imposed sanctions on PDVSA, the nationalized oil company here, the source of most of this country's income. We are beginning to see the effects of that, not necessarily so much in country, but out to sea, where I understand that at least 8 million barrels of Venezuelan oil are at sea in various tankers, with the owners of that oil looking for a market. They're trying to avoid US sanctions. So that is a big pressure point on the government, but for the time being, it is making it absolutely clear, President Maduro at least, that he is in control. That humanitarian aid, he says, is not necessary, and he does say he is remaining there in the presidential palace. Stephen Gibbs, CGTN, Caracas.